Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Batmans of all ages, it is I, Sheer Comic, and I am terrible at video games. No, seriously. But today that all changes. You see, I have selected 5 of the biggest competitive games in 2023, and in a time span of only 3 hours, I must win 1 game in each. If I win, I become the greatest competitive player of all time. If I lose, my Twitch chat gets prizes. I want to give you a word. A word that right now may not mean all that much, but later on will go on to define this challenge. And that word is hope. Now, I've never actually played competitive Valorant before, and because of that, I am unranked. It was brought to my attention by Batman that because of this, if I were to go into a competitive game, it would essentially be the equivalent of a 57-year-old bodybuilder versing a bunch of preschoolers in a Nerf gun war. Essentially, you're going to be versing bots. So what we decided to do was instead go into an unrated game, because at least there we had a 50-50 chance on whether or not we would actually get a competitive game. And competitive game did we get. With this challenge, there are 2 things that you do not want. First, a super long game. The second, losing a game. Lucky for us, we got both of them. I mean, this shit literally started off 0-4 against us. I'm reloading!
Down B.
Dang it.
By this point, I was already considering quitting. I had no hope that we were gonna win. But then something happened.
An enemy remaining.
Something I didn't expect. We won a round. And then another. And then we lost a round. But eventually we kept winning just as much as them. And it led us to being 5-5. It was a tied game. From this moment on, the game was nothing short of competitive. I mean, it was just non-stop back and forward between us 2 teams. Yes, time was ticking, but at the rate we were going, it seemed that forfeiting was not an option and would only take more time from us.
Nice. Nice.
And you know what? I started getting some kills too. The guy who has never been good at games started doing pretty good. And I was also in that being a fantastic team player.
Can you protect me right here? Thanks for protecting me.
And this all led us to the end game. Us versus them. 40 minutes taken from the clock. First team to 13 wins.
They're coming here.
Come on! You know what, Batman? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It all gives us the same dream.
We have to win this one.
We do.
Okay. Let's go!
Oh my
Yes.
god. 45 minutes. Yeah, it had been drained from the clock, but we won. So not only was I working to take as little breaks as possible, I also need to work with my time as quick as possible, meaning that when I'm not in a game, I should be using my time trying to get in a game as fast as I can. So I formed together my own Avengers, and as you can imagine, I was very patient with how long they were taking to get on. Everybody get on. Do you hear that? TikTok.
What me? I am fucking on. What do you want about? I'm on my Xbox.
Well, it does not say this.
Fuck you mean it's not?
The fuck you mean do I mean? And then we finally got into a game. Now I have played my fair share of Rocket League competitive, so I knew what I was going to be walking into here. What I didn't know was how exactly this game was going to go. Fortunately, unlike Valorant, this game actually started off in our favor. I mean, the last game, we were down 0-4. It was scary. But this game, we started off 2-0.
On the reason that nearly went
Nice.
off.
Oh,
Thanks,
man.
Batman. That was all
So
you.
good. Yeah, thanks, Batman.
Yo, what up?
Oh my
Nice.
God. 2-0. However, if luck was on our side, we'd have a first class ticket from this game onto the next. Luckily, we did still have a 1-point lead with 3 fucking seconds remaining. 3. And they goddamn score again. And it was safe to say we were not happy about this. No, you fucking bitch. And this took us into overtime. Okay, so by now you still don't know the rules of this game. It's essentially, you are a car, other team is a car, 5 minutes on the clock. You get boost to gain speed, you do flippy stuff if you want, and your goal is to go. Most points win. Once that 5-minute timer runs out, if you were tied, the game goes into sudden death.
Let's go full straight in for this. Set it up. Oh, you motherfucker! How did you not hit that?
Oh my god.
By the way, the time's 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm saying GG 18 times. Fuck! I hit that and it didn't go in for some reason. Game break.
Go!
Yes!
Go!
Yes!
Yeah, bitch!
Okay.
Now by this point, I was inside of my head. We had beaten our first 2 games on our first try within the first hour. And by that I mean my ego was boosted. So I got the team from Rocket League, got them to come over to Fortnite. Nick, what's the game called? It's called Fortnite. It's free. But from here, my plan was simple. Obviously win the game, but to win the next 2 games within the next hour. Meaning that if I can accomplish that, I will have an entire hour for the final game, which I consider to be the hardest of them all. Now, as I mentioned, I was in my head. I had a pretty boosted ego by this point, and I was more than confident that this 3rd game was going to go exactly like the first 2. So as you can imagine, with this confidence, I took this game very seriously. I mean, I began a war with somebody's mom.
Okay, well, Brandon's also like 10 times stronger than you and shit.
Damn. I decided to just go AFK halfway through, among just other randomly stupid things that I did. Falling, dreaming, talking.
And Gotham.
What's this?
Crime.
Oh, it was a bot. Eventually, we got to that endgame. And before we knew it, the storm had come in. We were in the middle of a fight. Now, unlike the old Fortnite map, I didn't know the new one like it was the back of my hand. So, direction-wise, I obviously knew that I was going forward. What I didn't know was what I was going forward into. And before I knew it, Batman and I, we were on the ground dead. And it was all left to one person. The second Batman. The second Batman, however, was left in a 4v1. Which, well, this is where things start to go downhill for me. As I finally have taken my first loss. And as you can imagine, the ego that was slowly being built up had plummeted. The worst part about this is not that we lost, it's more so when we lost. I would have been fine if we died at the start of the game, heck, maybe even midway through, but time don't wait for anybody, and it sure as hell is not going to be taking a bathroom break for me. So we pushed on. We began another game. This time, I was focused. And I don't know what the hell happened, and I mean no disrespect to my team, because they've been playing amazing so far. This game, we really just amped up our shit. I mean, we took some like performance enhancer drug or something. I don't really know, but we fought anybody. We fought everybody, and even had time for the middle where we just said some of the stupidest shit ever.
I'd send him like body-sized pillows of Nick A30.
I'll take a body-sized pillow of Nick A30.
And we made it to the end game once again. With so much on the line here, with any more seconds spent in another Fortnite game, was a second closer to failing this challenge. A win was essential.
I'm just building as high as I can.
Oh, he's
I
shooting.
see him.
34, cracked. 6 on
Nice.
Go. Now, it is not where I would like to have been by this point, but it does not make the challenge impossible. Throughout the entire video, Batman has been on my team, so you can imagine my initial shock when I found out that the person who has been on my side this entire challenge is now against me. For chess, we wanted to try something different. There is a game called FPS Chess. Now, in retrospect, I thought that this would be like an actual game of chess, where say my pawn got out their pawn, and I was just able to shoot them. That's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, even in FPS chess, if you get checkmated, you still have an opportunity to come back and win the game. Which, I mean, in theory, it does make for a more intense game. But on the contrary, I just wanted an actual game of chess. So I paid Batman a hefty fee to throw the game.
Move your queen so you can get my... There we go.
Batman's not throwing or anything, though.
Not that I'm telling you what to do.
No, no.
But, no, don't kill my king.
Oh, no.
Wait, I get a sword?
I had a machine...
I get a sword and you get a machine gun?
Let's go. But I promise you, this does not play into the final result at all. Because up next, it is the final game. It is going to be the hardest game. Warzone. We only have 1 hour left on the clock. So far, my plan is working perfectly. For the final game, I threw Batman out the window for betraying me, and then I went along and grabbed other Batman, the only one left of the trio. Training for this game at this point is something that I truly regretted not doing. And well, little did I know, both other Bat and I had about the same level of IQ as those preschoolers in that Nerf war. And on top of the fact, we went through this dumbass motherfucking Netflix menu just trying to fucking figure out where Warzone was and loading into just random ass game modes that I had no idea what the hell they were. Really took a lot of time out of it. Because of this, we went through like 6-7 different lobbies just trying to figure out how to get to Warzone. I mean, it was truly just hit after hit after hit, with the timer just going down ever so quickly. And as the time went down and down, 20 minutes remain. One final game, which is where we pause and we take a step back to the beginning of the video. We spoke about a word. I want to give you a word. A word that had no meaning. A word that right now may not mean all that much, but later on will go on to define this challenge. It will now go on to define this entire challenge. And that word is hope. On average, a game of Warzone takes 15 to 30 minutes. Realistically, I only have about 1 game left before this challenge is considered a failure. I am struggling on Warzone, and I keep losing. But that is why I must have hope. This entire challenge began with me losing, stating that I am terrible at video games. And I wanted to put myself up to the test to see if I could prove myself wrong. The only way that I could do that is if I beat Warzone. With all that I have done so far, I would be a fool to count myself out. It is time I get some of that hope, and I use it to win this goddamn thing. The final game. 20 minutes remain. One wrong move and it's over. Going with funny staple 4. Where the fuck did he go? If my team wins, I still win. I'm just saying.
weak.
What the fuck just happened? The entire team's dead. Everything literally relies on this one guy. If he dies, I die. My entire thing relies on a dude with the name Furry. Oh, Furry Staple's in trouble here. Maybe he goes to the gulag. It may not all be over. He goes to gulag. It's not all over for Furry Staple, damn it. Here we go. No, you got this, Staple, man. But all stories have a happy ending. Not all journeys come to a resolution that one would hope. Even though from start to finish, I tried my best, I lost the challenge. And all I could do was sit there in defeat. I paid the viewers with those that wanted stuff. They were the real winners at the end of the day. Me, I am to just sit here and wonder what went wrong.